which is remarkable for a game from 1996.
It was all just total crap in 96. No one put any effort into anything, right?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't until 97 that Final Fantasy VII came out, so... Alright. So we have the last home stretch.
Blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself.
So Lewis was Edith's...
The last one.
Yeah, Edith's other brother.
He just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
What's in Lewis's
Can't wait to
room?
see how this goes wrong.
Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis.
He was the psychedelic boy. If you couldn't
Me
tell.
too, thanks.
Well, he's not. Yeah.
So Lewis is the stoner boy. Got it.
Yeah.
I love how they sealed the room, but you can literally open the window of the boat that his room is. That I love it. That's kind of amazing.
Of course. You can't seal up the boat window. Come on.
They're supposed to be pre-sealed.
So this is Lewis's room, which...
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of it.
I wonder what it smelled like.
Okay, I would just like to point out that as a big fan of psychedelia, I don't actually drugs.
He also has
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games
retro
together,
game system.
But he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Me too.
Me too, thanks. He graduated, so that's better to be said for some stoners.
He has a big TV.
And a big fridge.
Yeah. And an exercise ball. Nice computer
I wonder
setup.
why Dawn let him do this.
And here's his stuff. So what
Dear Mrs.
happened?
Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation.
November 23rd,
As I see it,
2010.
the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony.
So we have control of the hand.
Oh. Oh,
He
shoot.
kept working at the cannery. But he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to
Wander. Can I grab it? No.
wander.
I can use the other analog stick to move, though.
I
Oh,
asked him to
no.
describe it.
What?
He said he started small.
What are you thinking?
Well, he's definitely gonna
Imagine more level.
get wrecked by the cannery
Feel his
machinery.
way about. Then something
So-
moves. Bats.
Just to reiterate right now, we're controlling the little man in the daydream with the left analog stick, and we're controlling the hand with the right analog
He knew
stick.
it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, you'd use WASD for the little game and then the mouse for the cannery bit.
Also,
That's actually good design. I like it.
we're very rapidly progressing to
But he found
increasing graphical fidelity as it happens.
I worried
Yeah,
about him.
I'm noticing that.
So let's follow the little red
Daydreaming at
path.
the cannery.
Pictured me at work.
I spoke with his boss.
I'd rather
But
be
he
playing
said
video
Lewis had become a
games.
model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
Now, as I went through this, I was curious
Like a whole
what would
new
happen.
Lewis.
I was curious if like the
So I let him go.
I was curious if the dialogue would change if I like let the fish build up, but I
even
didn't actually
encouraged.
try that.
It seemed very
I have a feeling it
promising.
probably would have just like stopped after 3 and just wouldn't let you
Obi had
continue.
made a new friend.
I don't know though.
Maybe not.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
And there's
He
also
built the city up slowly, brick by brick.
this
Minecraft.
yeah, this sequence
Then
does
he made
some
musicians.
interesting things that we'll see. As
and songs
Lewis's
for them to play.
kind of fictional world gets more and more elaborate.
He talked about starting a band. And he was
I'm
always
really
hungry.
worried right now.
Why is that?
Every day his imagination grew stronger.
This is just
No
playing
longer
out like
spoke.
an incredibly effective horror film sequence.
But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination,
Therefore,
so he could do whatever he wished.
precisely. So Lewis is gonna get even more inventive.
He held
Uh-oh.
an election for mayor. And he won.
Of course.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering.
Now we're going campaigning to the rest
It
of the
became a game
world.
for him.
Oh, fish.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately
I appreciate
push
they
on.
slow the fish down while this is happening.
New Louisville.
New Louisville.
So basically, we're playing Spore while also cutting fish.
He started drifting away from our reality.
Aw. I know that feel.
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery,
Minneapolis.
even as his mother pleaded with him. Part
Oh,
of the
hi,
race
hi,
got saved
hi,
on.
hi, Mom.
Turn off the machinery!
He's already lost.
In Louisburg, he heard.
How much do you want to
rumors
bet this scene ticked off like people on Twitter?
of Beautiful.
I mean,
things.
everything ticks off people on Twitter. Yeah, so we also have some choices here about, like, what...
The prince was on his own quest for.
For what? Well,
Radiant rainbows.
no.
No!
Come on.
Sinister serpents.
He's on a dangerous quest of adventure. Oh, we knocked that one over.
He followed the sound of his.
Which one? Well,
Electric sitar, obviously.
of course.
Electric sitar.
I would have chosen Silverheart, but I know you too well.
Let's hit all the music notes.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon.
A golden palace. I want to.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
an Icelandic
his logic remained
classic
sound.
folktale.
Is it?
Yeah. East of the sun, west of the moon.
He knew the
And that's
world was
where
all
you
in
go
his
when you sleep, I
imagination.
think?
Hmm.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah, we got a little bit of fish buildup.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
We're the best.
For someone who'd never known
Around.
success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
I wish that could be me.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
I mean, well, strictly speaking, that's probably not.
Well, that's not the most kingly palace I've ever found.
No. There's Lewis's locker.
I began to forget the world we know.
This is the cannery.
I mean, I can
I
see
think
that.
it pained him
Oh.
to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
There's Lewis, the cannery worker.
Is he gonna freaking commit suicide?
We'll see what happens.
Because I was expecting him to, like, get his arm cut
I
off.
began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Oh, wait. Uh-oh.
Oh, Lewis.
I don't like where this is going.
He's like an automaton.
I still thought I could save him.
I thought that our, like,
Even after
fiction
he said
self
he
was
being
going
bound
to,
over
like,
all the lands of wonder.
He killed
send
the real
him
one.
through the chopper. Yeah.
The palace would be packed with his companions.
All of his lovely companions. Like Tuba Boy. And,
Other tuba boy.
and the drum boys.
Cymbal boy.
And a cat.
Wait, what?
Molly.
Where'd that come from?
Molly. The giant cat.
Acceptable.
We're gonna get crowned.
I have a feeling that has two meanings to it.
His crown.
Well,
There was only one thing left to do.
he is working at a cannery.
Bend down his head.
Jesus Christ. Oh, hell no.
Oh yeah.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Beheaded by cannery. Oh, gosh.
Yep. And
My
there's
brother was
Lewis.
really cool. I wish you could have met him.
And that's pretty much everybody. We just have Dawn left to, and Edie, I think, maybe, to fill in.
And Edith, of course.
Well,
She's filled herself in, but there's no way she's getting out of this alive.
He was so
We both
proud
know
of
it's
being
true.
Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch.
just a Finch.
Well, that explains the Indian-based psychedelia.
So there's only one way left to go now. Up to the top part of the house.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
Oof. More broken paths.
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
Yeah, it's not really easy to broach those sorts of topics.
I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
There's like a full kitchen up here. Which, you know, I'm not surprised by, because like when you're this far above the main house.
I, too, would be a little bit uppity about the whole situation.
So this is this is where Dawn and Edith were living. Before they finally pieced out of
My
the
mom ended up leaving
house.
everything
Missing
behind.
Milton.
Yeah. Those were the same.
So they packed and didn't take it.
Those were the same papers that were in the forest at the beginning of the game, if I remember right.
I don't recall. Sorry.
They're not. They were kind of difficult to see in the video anyway, just because of how dark it was. And there's Sanjay's stuff. Some of it, at least. He was a disaster relief
happened that night
worker,
had been coming for a
so
long time.
I presume that probably factored into his death.
Maybe I should have come sooner.
What?
Well, now we're going up to Edith's room.
Okay, well, she lived up here. How did she know that not know there was so much climbing?
All that's left now was to tell you about that last night.
I don't think she was expecting to have to come all the way up here,
Guess.
since everything was boarded up in the first place. It's little
I
Edith's
feel
room.
very short.
Yeah. Little Edith. With a quill pen. Sort of.
Aww.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
To our final night together, and all our final nights apart.
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why
Oh,
don't
old
you
people.
open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving
Oh,
tomorrow.
wow.
Let's just enjoy our lives.
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Yep, the adults have to argue now.
Yeah. So there's only one place in the house we haven't gone yet.
the power.
Shoot, where was that?
But Edie always had plenty of candles. When
The
my mom was at
library.
the library, I don't think she knew about the
Right.
entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Which has a second entrance.
So the present was just the key to the library.
Presumably. Or something like that. Since she did say she left it in the hallway. Even more books.
The thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
The curse? I guess? Perhaps?
I mean, we have no reason.
My children are dead because of your story.
Well,
I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
in fairness, like, it does seem like the curse is kind of real.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground.
The old
There'd
house.
been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. No, I've seen that house every day of my life.
So now,
But I never thought I'd go back to it.
we're going to the old house.
When
Wow.
the fog rolled
Did
in,
not think the game was going to do
I
it.
lost my way.
Oh! We can't see anything now, though.
turned around.
How did that happen? Must find our way through the fog.
Okay, I'm
I
not really on
started
board
seeing
with this, but she does survive.
This is all for the drama of the moment. Because we know that
things
Edie...
I'd forgotten had ever existed.
We know that Edie is a storyteller, after all.
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night,
All
a
these
lot
things
of
that killed my
came back
family.
to me.
Oh, I think you made it.
I came back
Yeah.
to them.
Not so different from the new house, apparently.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing
Oh.
here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go. I kicked and
Oh,
screamed,
no.
but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
No! Edie!
Next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it.
Honestly, fingerless gloves is a great, like you can tell it's Edith whenever the hands have fingerless gloves. I kind of like that.
A few years went by. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone.
Ugh.
The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you.
A new Finch.
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you.
This
Well, I
is
hope you
extremely
understand.
subtle.
I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
And that's the end of Edith's journal.
The final Finch.
Yep. And there's the old house.
That game was freaking beautiful.
So that was What Remains of Edith Finch.
Excuse me, I have something in my eye.
Yeah, I was like... it like the ending of the game in particular hit me a lot harder than I thought it would.
It's an extremely well done game and story. Holy wow.
And now we have the like the credit sequences going back down, like from the top of the house.
Yeah, all the way down. I like it.
Yeah.
That's cute.
And there's actually hilariously enough, when we get to a certain developer here, there's an achievement for like sticking in the credits long enough to get to that point.
Well, who wouldn't? This is like a really cool idea. There's Milton. Yeah, like I've barely met any of these people, and already I'm like, oh, I know who these are. There goes Gus.
The Finches. Yeah.
This game is basically if Series of Unfortunate Events 3 like had all its events just pan all the way out. Like, have you ever read it?
I haven't actually read any of them, no.
The third one is about this, like, they go to live with their aunt who, like, is terrified of literally everything and lives in the most terrifying old house on the edge of a cliff. She doesn't make it.
Oh, of course not. Yeah.
And now we're at Barbara with her dreadful stories.
Yeah, I was really glad that I decided to play this actually. 'Cause like I'd heard a lot of good things about it anyway, but like I didn't know what to expect going into it.
I have it on GOG, and I'll probably never play it, but I'm really happy that I watched it.
Did you actually buy it, or did you get it from somewhere?
I don't remember. Which is a good sign, right?
Either way, I mean, they got money for it, right?
Well, there's our peach halves.
Yep. Annapurna Interactive. I don't know if they're like... I don't know what they're working on now, though, which would be would be interesting to see if they're like continuing to do this sort of thing in the video game world, because
as long as they don't pull a Chinese room and try to like take on a classic horror game or anything.
But yeah, I really liked it. Special thanks. Special thanks to them.
Scarred for Life 2.
Enjoy.
I see that
thank
she
you.
literally only played horror movies.
Yeah, right. Lewis Finch, beloved brother. The Edith Finch team.
It took 5 years for them to put this together, so...
The end.
The end, Titan.
Yep. And you can... Yeah, you can you can select...
a story to replay it.
Yeah, like select people from the family tree to just like replay their sections of the game.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We never drew in Dawn, so what happens if you pick Dawn?
She's related to Edie's there.
Oh, okay.
Like you see how it
Oh,
circles.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah. So I presume that she's just she goes back to the final one with Edie as well.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It's weird. I love how the survivors are always ladies.
that was
It's a weird twist.
That was what remains of Edith Finch. I hope you all enjoyed it, because I did.
I really did.